Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going better than fantastic and your journey to self-betterment is going better than fantastic as well. Today, I want to talk about something very important. And this is very important because I believe this is something that affects most if not all people on earth. No matter if you grew up in a home with a narcissist, or you dated a narcissist recently, or whatever combination you can think of. Because the simple truth is, with all of the things going on in this world, we are all or almost all to some degree or another experiencing what we call narcissistic abuse. You see, there are some of us here making videos about our experiences growing up in a narcissistically abusive home, or detailing our stories in how we dated one or married one. But in the middle of some of our stories, we might digress for a moment, slow things down, and look around and notice, wait, this is what we are seeing happening in the world in many instances. The same gaslighting, the same projection, the same crazy making, the same smear campaigns, the same. And the only difference between us, meaning those of us that grew up in a terrible home, with a narcissist mother or father or both, along with golden child narcissist siblings, is that we can see what is happening a bit more easily and clearly than someone that grew up in a home with a loving, caring family. But the importance of what we are going to talk about, and honestly what we've been talking about for some time, is extremely great. It's extremely great. So I've been observing some things in the world along with just looking at things in a normal relationship sense within how to really beat narcissism and the stranglehold it seems to have on this world. Well, the first step is it starts with us. It starts with normal everyday average people. And the big thing we must learn to do is slow things down like the Matrix. You see, the narcissist has many complex and manipulative ways to get you to do what it is they want you to do, without you realizing until it's too late. But I think a big part of all that is our minimizing truly how bad and common this type of problem is. Look, narcissism is here, and they seem to have the upper hand. But a good amount of that is over time. Average people gave away their power to these evil people. You see, I think back to when I met Susie. I ask myself, what if I knew what I know now? That's a common feeling, right? I remember feeling something was off. And though there were some red flags, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. And I kept walking forward into her plan. Now those of you that know my story might remember, there was a man that dated Susie before myself. And apparently he had to break up with her because he was moving out of the area. But it was later found out, he never moved at all. They only dated for about 6 months before the breakup. And this relationship with Susie and this man was way before people were talking about narcissism on the internet. However, years later, once I realized I was being mistreated really bad, and I started to look up and find a few things that were online regarding emotional abuse. And then I was directed to narcissistic abuse and narcissism. I reflected back on this story regarding this man that Susie dated before me. Though this man likely knew nothing about narcissism, he was able to slow things down enough to understand some basic things. Number 1. Susie was and is completely crazy, and any further relationship with her would be trouble and a series of accidents waiting to happen. He also realized that telling her the truth would just make her vengeful and it might create more difficulty and drama while trying to exit. So he knew. Don't confront her. Don't tell her about herself. Don't do any of those things, as it likely would turn out to be a bad situation. And in the process he took his power back. He took his power back. He walked away, and hopefully, though I don't know for sure, but hopefully he went on to live a happy life. And if he had enough discernment to exclude people like Susie from his life, he might have possibly found someone decent to spend the rest of his time and life with. One can only hope. People. Narcissism and narcissists are real. It all starts there. And they aren't this rare creature that hides in the shadows that you will likely never encounter. They are everywhere. Just like decent people. They might be someone that works at a grocery store. Or they might be someone that is on a school board in a district where your sons and daughters attend school. So though you have a loving family at home, you still will likely encounter narcissism in your personal life. And what you should do is act accordingly. You see, I've watched some of these videos, where parents are addressing school boards of what many are deeming to be unfair practices. Or parents of all backgrounds upset over what their sons or daughters are being taught in school. And when I hear these parents get up and give such powerful and passionate speeches, where eventually their time runs out, and someone with an emotionless voice basically tells them to stop talking, what I hear is myself talking to Susie, practically begging her to act like a human being. There was a YouTuber a while back that made a video talking about this very thing. And I can't remember her name offhand. So please forgive me. But she said regarding narcissism, if you find yourself in a situation where you are needing to tell or show a grown adult how to treat people decently, just stop. Just stop. Because here's the thing. They know how to treat people right. They just choose not to. And they get a charge and narcissistic supply from treating people wrong. Look. Here's the thing. In many of these instances in life where we see people pleading their case, there is a big chance, in my humble cartoon opinion, they are speaking to people that are empty inside, that don't care. So what's the solution? Well, recently, I've heard in the school instance, there are now parents that are running for such seats and positions. Now keep in mind this is just an example. But instead of wasting time, try to figure out a quiet and even polite way you can take away the narcissist's power. If it's a relationship, like this man that was dating Susie before myself, he made a random yet believable excuse, and he slipped away so he could live his life in peace. In the instance with Hollywood, don't watch their movies if you don't like the message that you believe is being portrayed. If you don't like the way a certain school district is being run, yes, voice your opinions, not so much to change the minds of people that are doing things that you clearly feel are wrong, because the chances of them changing such things are extremely low. But speak in those instances to see who is on the same page and who isn't. Work with like-minded people that are on the same page, and see possibly who in the group not only wants to run for such a position, but to see who has the best chance. I've said before, dealing with narcissism on a one-on-one level, it's best to not react, to slow things down, and slip out of the back door. But when dealing with societal narcissism, you still want to slow things down. But think of a strategy on what is the best way to politely and legally get certain narcissists out of your life. You see, narcissists have gained certain positions because no one has stepped up to do anything about it. And the more no one does anything, the more they erode the industry that they are in. And you can see it in the workplace. There are companies you might work for where you might be surrounded by narcissists. Why? Because those that aren't narcissists eventually leave, and the narcissists stay. And every now and then they hire a new person that is codependent or that really needs the job. And they take it for as long as they can. The problem is narcissism has been allowed to foster and grow in so many of these places. The family court systems, your job, school districts. Now, are there good people there? Yes. Many people here might work in such fields. But many of these decent people have to prepare themselves before they go into the office because of all the narcissists that they work with. Look around. Slow things down. See these things for what they are. And then you can truly do something about them. There are some people that instead of battling school districts or running for a position to make a change, they quietly go no contact. They pull their son or daughter from such school. And they homeschool them themselves. They might not even say anything negative on the way out. Which, if they are truly taking their son or daughter out of these schools for these very reasons, it would probably be smart to not say what's on their mind. Remember, narcissists are very vengeful. If you say, yes, I'm taking my son out of school because of this, that and the other. Or I had a run-in with this teacher or that teacher. Or I reported that school board member or that school board member. You just essentially put a target on your back. You just put a target on your back. Because remember, if you are talking this way to a true real deal narcissist, you're not helping the situation. And all you're doing is giving this person a reason to come after you in some form or way to make your life hard. Oh. So why are you taking your son or daughter out of school and choosing to homeschool? Well, we just want to spend more time with our son or daughter and to be directly involved with their learning. And it's something we've always wanted to do. And when you leave. Now with this example. What if all parents did this? Or let's say 80 to 90% of parents did this. No getting on the microphone and getting upset. They just politely removed their son or daughter from said school and didn't give a detailed reason as to why. They just did it and moved on with their lives. Narcissism would shrink. Because those that might be narcissists in such a position likely wouldn't have a job anymore. But even if they did, it would be no longer fun for them. Because they would no longer have control over thousands of lives. You see, when the narcissist's well runs dry and the narcissistic supply is gone, the narcissist moves on. When that guy that was with Susie from me broke up with her under good terms and walked away peacefully, she just moved on to me and whoever else she met at the particular time. As I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one. But you get the point, I think. When you quietly walk away, and you quietly take away their importance, and they are just standing there like what just happened. Everyone just left. Eventually the narcissist will leave too. Just like a vampire in the night looking for someone or something new to get involved in. You beat narcissism by not being there. And you see, I bring up that school board topic as a perfect example. You see parent after parent pouring their hearts out to people that really don't seem to care much about what is being said. And you really don't see many changes happening. And in that instance I see two options. Someone just focusing on the facts and running for such seats and winning. And parents taking their business elsewhere. And not wasting their time or breath on people that don't care. Simply put, it all starts with you. First step. You realize that narcissism and narcissists are very real. That they are not always these larger-than-life characters where they take over every room they walk into. That some narcissists play small in order to gain your trust and manipulate you. And because we know these facts, we must slow things down in our lives on a regular basis so we can stay grounded. And so we can know what is happening in and around our lives. If we see someone in our lives doing something that is talking to our gut instincts and telling us that it's wrong, no need to confront this person. Likely they know it's wrong too. But they are doing such things on purpose to see if you will be gullible enough to go along with it. So what do? You politely and you quietly take your business elsewhere, so to speak. You leave. And if you have to give a polite excuse as to why, you do so. And then you teach your sons and daughters about such valuable lessons. About decent people. About evil people. And how to walk away from those that are manipulators and that they get a bad feeling from. And these skills get passed down and passed down and passed down. You see, narcissists love to see the art of discernment to be lost. Because walking away builds strength. There are some parents in such boats like in the example given earlier. They said they were thinking about homeschooling for years but never did it because other parents made them feel like it was not a good idea. Then one day things got so bad they did it. And they said they now wish they did it years ago. They just let other people override their gut feeling to do so. Don't let someone talk you out of your plan with societal talking points. If you feel like dealing with someone could be a problem and you don't want to, don't let someone talk you into something that you feel is wrong. Because most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, we hear, my gut told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. And it turned out to be as bad as I originally thought. But again, narcissists don't like critical thinkers. They don't like people that can figure things out. And most importantly, they don't like people that can walk away. Because walking away means they have no more narcissistic supply. And they don't want you to know that if you walk away from them in your one-on-one lives, and to a degree, you can walk away from them on the world stage. And if you can do these things, narcissism and narcissists wouldn't have too much of a leg to stand on. But that's just my humble cartoon opinion. Well, that's a good place to stop. Please drop your comments below as always. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.